What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the final edition of the Final Points. The 2021-2022 season is finally coming to a close with this week's Tour Championship. As always, brought to you by Fantasy Points. Matt, ready for it?
Final one. We've come a long way from the Masters. It came quick, but it was a fun year, and I'm ready to wrap it up and get on with next year.
Yes, ready to wrap it up, take a couple weeks off, and then jump right back into the fall swing. And I know football's going on and not a whole lot, but we're going to get some new PGA Tour players. You're going to see some different type of fields. FedEx Cup standings just completely hits a reset button, and we're on to a lot. I mean, a lot's going to go down after this week as well. It's not all over. There's not really 2 weeks off. I mean, there's going to be some moves.
Yeah, golf season has no break, so we're going to be right back into it sooner than later. So I'm ready.
Especially with live and everything going on, it's going to be the craziest quote unquote off season that we've probably ever seen. To be honest,
I agree. There's going to be a lot going on for sure. We don't even know what's going to happen. There could be. No. I mean, obviously Cam was crazy. There could be bigger ones. Like, we don't know. Stuff happens by the minute. We got the new thing with Tiger and Rory today.
Yes.
Stuff is changing so fast. It's just like, what is golf in 2022/2023? It's just a crazy time for golf.
Yep. So this week, Tour Championship, 29 players in the field after Zalatoris withdrew with a back injury. Would have started the event in a very good spot at 7 under, just 3 back of Scotty Scheffler, but decided to rest. So obviously, fairly serious injury as we kind of expected. The course, East Lake, very familiar with it, obviously. Been hosting this event since 2004. Par 70, just over 7,300 yards. To be honest, Matt, I didn't dive too deep into the stats. Like I said to Sam last week, I want guys towards the bottom of the board, at least in terms of starting strokes. I want guys who can make birdies and go low, because if you can't, it doesn't matter if you're 2-3 under at the end of the week. You're not going to be able to make up any ground.
No, yeah, I agree. You can if you want to take a stat and run with it, you could do whatever you want this week, because there's so many. Obviously, guys are starting from 10 under all the way to even. I'm going to play a lot of narratives this week. Do whatever you want this week. There's a certain way you got to play DFS, as in you got to have the winner in your lineup for sure, because only 30 guys. But besides that, do what you want.
Absolutely. So let's get into the pricing. 10K plus range features a couple 13K guys, and rightfully so. We talked about the starting positions. If you're not familiar with this setup, I'm sure if you've consumed any content this week, you should be up to date. But if not, Scotty Scheffler, number 1 in the FedEx Cup standings, starts the week at 10 under par. So tomorrow morning when he tees off, he's already 10 under. Patrick Cantlay will follow him at 8 under. So the number 1 place has always had a 2-stroke lead over the number 2 in the FedEx Cup standings. Matt, I think it's a massive advantage that Zalatoris dropped out and that 7 under guy isn't in the picture, because first off, it's a top 3 player in terms of the FedEx Cup standings, and usually translates to real life golf, especially in today's world. And then you go from the 2-stroke lead from Cantlay to now you're up 4 on Xander, the very next guy. So I'm putting all my chips in on Scotty Scheffler at 13-6, and I'm going to find a way to build a team around him.
No, I 100% agree. Everyone's going to go to Xander down here with the recent form plus the course narrative, but there's realistically, like I said, you're going to have the winner in your DraftKings lineup this week. It's not like a week where you could have 4 guys in the top 10 and find their way to the cash. You're going to need to have the winner this week, because there's only a 30-man field. And realistically, how many guys can win this event? I would say starting at 5 under at most, which is where Rory came from. And is Sam Burns going to do it at 5 under? He's not in the greatest form, and I don't know if Sam Burns is the caliber of Rory. So you can throw Sam Burns out. Everyone 6 under and above, that's Xander, Cantlay, Scotty Scheffler. I feel like one of those guys is going to win it. And I'm with
those first 3. I wouldn't build a lineup without one of those 3. I don't think you can.
No, you can't. I agree, because there's great talent obviously down there with Rory, Rahm, and Cam Smith, but 4 under, 3 under, and then 4 under. So those guys have to have absolute ceiling weeks, and the guys at the top have to come back to them. What's can it happen? Sure, but I I'm going to have to go one of these guys that's -6 or above, and it's looking like Xander will take the chalk. I'm going to bite on Scotty Scheffler. His ball striking has been obviously immaculate since forever. Since his whole week. The thing that was holding him back was the putter a little bit. He had that 5 straight red putting weeks, but he gained a stroke. He only gained 1 stroke putting last week, and he almost won the damn tournament. So if he found something with his putter, the ball striking has been there and it's still there. I'm going with Scotty Scheffler at 13.6 was a crazy price, but I found a nice team around him that I like.
Yeah, and like you said, you just have to have the winner, and it's not worth like going down to Cantlay at $600 cheaper because you're giving away 2 strokes, and I would personally just rather have Scheffler with this much money on the line, what he's already accomplished.
Yeah,
you don't want to give that away. I kind of made the NFL reference with Sam last night. It's like the NFL playoffs. You play the whole season, you get the 1 seed. You want the home field advantage. You want that bye week. Like you want every advantage that you can get, and that's where Scotty Scheffler's sitting at 13.6.
Yeah, I agree. And also, I'm just looking for variance. Is Patrick Cantlay going to win the BMW and the Tour Championship in consecutive seasons? Like, he really damn sure could, but I just don't think he can. I play variance all season long, and my variance has been away from Scotty Scheffler. Now I'm going to go to him because I haven't played him much, and I'd rather not go with the chalky Xander, which has there's no. I'm not going to say any bad things about Xander except for the chalk. He's an amazing course. He's amazing course history, obviously, immaculate form. Like, he was one of the best stat guys of the last 3-4 years.
Yeah,
and now he's like on another level. Yep. So Xander makes so much sense, but he's gonna touch like 30% at that price and at 6 under because there's no Zalatoris there. A lot of the Zalatoris ownership, I feel, went straight to Xander. So I'm with you. I'm going Scotty Scheffler. I didn't touch any of the guys on the right, but I bet Jon Rahm at 10-1 to win the Shadow leaderboard, which is obviously just the stroke play in the tournament.
He did it last year.
Yes, and I like Jon Rahm for this reason because if you go look at the last 2 weekends where Jon Rahm got off the slow starts, he won the weekends or came in second and first in the weekends, had the lower scores. So he's been awesome playing from behind. Who knows if that's a little thing that he just recently once he gets out of contention, here's a backdoor top 5 from Jon Rahm. Now he's out of contention to start. He's got to get on his horse and get going, which when he's doing that, he's probably the best golfer in the world. So I like Jon Rahm in that setting. So I took him at 10-1.
Yeah, and one more thing on the whole Scotty and Cantlay. So the top 2 guys who start at 10 and 8 under, the worst finish in the last 3 years, there's only been one guy that finished worse than 7th. It was Patrick Cantlay when he started at 8 under back in 2019, shot 9 over and finished T21. That's 9 over on the weekend. If you're looking at top 3, we can't really look at that since the 7 under position would have been held by Will Zalatoris, but Tony Finau would have been the other outlier at T11. He shot even par on the week last year and still finished T11. So,
so
obviously massive advantage. The 10 under guy has won each of the past 2 years, and I think it's pretty straightforward here.
Yeah, a lot of guys are going to go to Rory here too.
Yep.
Because of what he's done, because of the form he's in. But Rory at 21% ownership versus Scotty at 21% ownership. You're going to need one of those guys to win. I'll just take Scotty. I'll pay the amount. There's only 30 guys in this field. You can only play so many guys. I like the Scotty chalk, and I like some guys down low that can, I think, make a charge.
All right, let's jump into the 9K range. So pretty thin range here. Sam Burns at 9.9, Tony Finau 9.6, JT's 9.4, Sungjae Im and Cam Young round out the 9K range. I like Burns just because of the value and starting position, but to your point that you talked about a little bit ago at the top here, the form hasn't exactly been there. I like
it hasn't
the
been
fact
bad.
that,
I wouldn't say it's horrible, but it's not where we're used to seeing it.
Yeah, and obviously you get Sam Burns on Bermuda greens. Don't have to tell you a whole lot about that, but just getting the last guy who's starting on his own little island at 5 under and everybody else is chasing him. Like, he's starting with the 4th best score, and he's the 6th, 7th guy in the pricing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the only reason that I'm really going to Burns. Outside of that, is there anybody here that you like, or are you going?
I'm playing 0 people in this range.
It's hard to a Scotty.
Yeah, I'm playing 0 people in this range. I like Sung Jae and JT. Sung Jae's been on a different planet off the tier of late and is playing a home game. He lives in Atlanta now. He's always playing. But I don't see this track as a track where you win with the driver and putter like some tracks I talk about a lot.
Yeah.
I think this is a complete ball striking golf course, and Justin Thomas is more of that player, although he has been absolutely horrendous on the green. So no one really I loved in this range to begin with. Plus what I'm doing with Scotty, this range is a full fade for me.
Yeah, it's extremely tough because you throw Scotty in there and you're already left with a $7,200 average.
Yeah,
You put one of these guys in it, good luck. It's
Good luck.
just not going to work out. And I don't think any of these guys have a huge leg up on some of the guys that we're going to see in the 8K range. So with that being said, let's jump down. Another somewhat thin range. There's one guy that I'm on here, and it's the very bottom.
It's the very bottom, and that is Corey
Connors.
Connors. He was like the last guy out of my lineup. The last guy. But I do like him.
Where are you at here?
I am on, in this range, I am on Joaquin Niemann. I was deciding between Hovland and Niemann. Joaquin Niemann's course history here is comically bad, but he is on another level ball striking right now.
Yeah.
I don't know where this came from. I mean, we always know he's a good ball striker, but last few weeks, +6, +7.5, +3, +5, 1, +5, +11. Like, that's elite level ball striking, and I don't care how your course fit is here. Remember Cam Smith at the Memorial coming in great form, horrible course fit at the Memorial, finished like third. So I don't think he's had anywhere near this type of form he's ever had coming into Eastlake. So I like Joaquin Niemann at a little bit lower ownership than some of these guys in this range too. So he's my only play in the 8K range.
Yeah, so my thing on Connors starts at 1 under. Obviously has to make up a good amount of ground if he wants to get up there. But last week, top 5 finish at the BMW Championship, led the field in ball striking, was third in approach. Should come as no surprise. Hasn't had great course history at Eastlake, but hopefully he can get his first top 20 finish at the event. Obviously been let down by the putter as of late. But what's new with Corey Connors? I just think getting him at 8K flat is a pretty decent price as your second guy in if you're going with Scheffler.
Yeah, I was going to actually bet Corey Connors on the shadow leaderboard, but I mean, he's going to be in a chaser's mentality. He's going to be firing at flags. I just don't know how many putts he's going to make because what is he going to have to get to? Like, what, minus like 15, minus 12 in that range, I feel like. So, I mean, can he do it? Yeah, but I don't know how hot his putter can get, but I do like him. I feel like he's a really good DraftKings play.
Yes. Jump down to the 7K. Lot of interesting plays in this range, to be honest. A lot of guys that I will be going to, and I mean, we might as well just do 7 and 6 altogether because 7, 6, and 5. Sorry, because there's not many guys in these ranges. But Jordan Spieth at 7,800.
I'm right with you on there. I'm right with you.
Yeah, it's a great price. I like his starting position, and we've seen guys who are starting at 2 under have success, especially last year. Kevin Na started at 2 under, was third. Xander T5. Kokrak T11, Rory T14. And like these aren't the most elite players. Like Kevin Na and Kokrak both started at 2 under and were T11 and third. So we've seen success from that. The year before that, Scheffler was 5th from here. Hatton was 7th. You look at this group as a whole, and Spieth sticks out, and he's a good value. Like he's priced below Niemann, Victor, and Matsuyama.
Yeah, and Spieth has had one of the greatest ball striking spring and summers of his career. It's tailed off a bit. We'll just ask for one more week. Jordan, hold on for us for one more week because he's obviously got I wouldn't say great course history. It's up and down. He's obviously done really well here and he's done really poor here. He's been spotty in all the categories, but hold on for us for one more week. I like him in a chaser's mentality. So I'm also on Jordan. And then the other guy that I'm on is the Chalk King, Colin Morikawa. That price point is hilarious price point. We saw him. Colin Morikawa has been hitting the ball so good. Last week, he gained 0.5 strokes on approach. He lost 4 strokes completely on one hole. That was hole number 12 on Sunday where he made a 10. He made a 10. So I could live with that. It's one bad hole. I can't give it all back. Say he gained 3.5 strokes on approach last week. You look at the numbers, that's 3.5, 3, 2, -1, 4, 5. That's legit ball striking from Colin Morikawa, who's like is finding it again. He's hitting the little baby fade off the tee again. He's another guy who's going to be going at a million flags, and we know his putter is either garbage or amazing. And last week it was garbage. Let's flip a coin and get it back to amazing this week. I bet Colin Morikawa at 28-1 to win the Shadow Leaderboard as well. So I like Colin Morikawa at 7-9.
In the betting show last night, I actually took Morikawa and Spieth together at Bet Rivers, 80-1 each way. Don't think either are going to win it.
With the strokes.
With the strokes, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Sorry, not the shadow. But 80-1 gets it to top four. A top four each way was at 16-1, which I think's pretty realistic if you're getting both of them at equal value. They just stuck out, and everywhere else they're like 66, and here they are bunched up together on DraftKings. Towards the bottom of the board, Tom Hoagie's interesting at 5K, but I would just rather get up to Aaron Wise.
I'm on Aaron Wise as well. I think he's going to be so chalky.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might have to get off him because of his.
He's going to be chalky, especially in like Scotty lineups.
Yeah,
but I feel like
just pivot off that.
I feel like you kind of have to. I mean, he was 9 under through 54 holes. Shot a 73 on Sunday. Made an appearance at East Lake for the first time in 2018, where he finished T15. I believe that was his rookie season, where he had a win thrown in there, but at least known the course and in pretty decent form. And you get him $400 above the modified minimum.
Yeah, no, I think that is fair, and like he's chalky for a reason. His ball striking is awesome, but now that I'm looking at this, why I might just play why would I want to do this? Because it's so ugly. Playing Brian Harman at $300 more, who has a stroke and he's half the ownership. I think I might do that because realistically, what is both of their upsides? I think Aaron Wise's upside is a little bit more, not by much though. Like Harman is up on top of leaderboards like here and there. He's in decent form, 35th at the BMW, 3rd at the FedEx St. Jude, like 6th at the Open. Brian Harman pops when he pops. Like I'll take that on a guy who can light up Bermuda greens. I think I'm going to switch from, just as a game theory play, Harman instead of Wise.
So the guys that start at even par, last year, there were 2 guys T11 or better. Berger was T11. Billy Horschel was T9. The year before that, 14th was the best. Nobody else was inside the top 20. And then 2019, another 14th. So your upside is a little capped at even par. I wish Adam Scott was at a better price, but it's hard to pay 66 with him starting at even par. Like I agree. I don't think he's that much more talented than everybody else that he's lined up with. Like especially being able to drop down to Hoagie and picking up $1,600. I don't prefer Hoagie to Scott, but when you're talking about $1,600 in savings, you got to kind of think about it.
No, I agree. And I think we passed over him, but I'm also going to play. Yeah, we did. Thigala at 67.
Okay.
Narrative. He's been, if you look at his stats, he's had amazing off the tee weeks, amazing iron weeks, amazing putting weeks, similar to Davis Riley. He just hasn't really put it all together. Now there's an open President's Cup spot. He charged up the leaderboard. Why not? So I think that's in the that could happen. I think it's in the balance. So I'm playing Sahith Theegala with a narrative with a little show me something. I'll take my chances with that. It's 6,700.
All right, jumping back. I know we went from basically the top of the sevens to 5K, but in the middle of all that, I like Scott Stallings quite a bit.
Yeah,
that's $7,400.
Numbers are awesome.
Leads the field in birdies gained over the last 8 rounds, coming off of a solo second, obviously, at last week's BMW. Led the field in approach. Obviously, when you're finishing in the top 2, that's not a surprise, but seeing him come into the week in good form, $7,400, I think is a pretty fair price for Scott Stallings here, who is a guy starting at 3 under. Like, you're
Yeah,
getting
no, that's
a
a good spot.
very good discount on him.
Yeah, I definitely like that. And Scott Stallings was everyone. He modeled out for everyone, but everyone was like, "Do I want to play Scott Stallings when it makes sense?" But
Yeah.
like he panned out. So
Yeah.
I like that Stallings call.
And him and Straka are two guys that get overlooked because of the groups that they're in. Like Straka's starting up at 4 under, and he's getting priced like he is Sepp Straka at the end of the day. And
Right.
what is 4 strokes or 3 strokes over a guy like Colin Morikawa? Probably not a whole lot. It could fade away in 1 or 2 holes, but given where these guys are starting, it's at least worth considering.
Yeah, and anyone else down here that I would like consider down the bottom. I don't love anyone, and it's crazy. It's crazy that everyone's ownership is so high, but like it's just like they have to be high because that's just how there's only 30 guys. So yeah, I like Thiegs down here a lot. I like Thiegs, and I'm gonna go with Harmon. I think that especially when I'm talking about, I think driving accuracy is gonna be huge this week, and he could pop on the greens. I'm gonna go with Harmon.
So before we log off here, let's try and build a cash lineup. Let's put our heads together.
A cash lineup, okay.
So we'll start with Scotty.
Scotty, yes, okay.
And then towards the bottom, you want to throw Harmon in there?
No. Cash will go Wise.
Okay. Wise, Spieth, and Colin. You want to try?
Go.
I don't hate it.
Yeah, no, I definitely Colin.
Colin.
Yeah, Spieth. Yeah, we'll go Spieth and Colin.
So we got 7,600 average left for 2 more spots.
Okay, 76. Throw Stallings in there.
Okay, 76. So Stallings gets us to 79. Homa, Straka, Horschel. Not sure if I love it.
No.
But
you can leave.
I mean, Homa's not that bad to throw in there, to be honest.
Upside, yeah. I mean, I guess Homa. I mean, yeah, you have to take Homa.
You do. Like disregarding starting positions. So Scotty Scheffler, Jordan Spieth, Colin Morikawa, Max Homa, Aaron Wise, Scott Stallings. I am playing that. I will actually play that 100%. All right. Side bet.
All right, final one before it gets real.
Last week, you took the crown. Spieth and Cam Young beat Ju Young Kim and Shane Lowry, who are nowhere to be found this week, and both of your guys are in. So it makes a little bit of sense.
Yeah.
But let's go. Let's pick a bracket in terms of, or want to pick one each from 2, 1, and even.
Yeah, 2, 1, and even. Okay, sweet.
So
snake draft. All right, I'll go first because I won last
and you
week.
can do in whatever order you want. If you want to go even, 2, 1, whatever.
2, 1, and even. I'm going to start with Neiman.
Okay. You got Neiman.
You have to have one of each.
Morikawa and Wise.
I was going to take Morikawa. All right. I got my 2. So I need a 1 and an even.
Yep.
1. I will go with Thigala.
Okay. And then
and I got my 1. I saw Hoagie.
Connors, Harmon, Hoagie, or Horschel?
Connors.
All right, and I will end it with God, I want to do Spieth, but I'm actually going to go Victor.
Oh, I like that Victor call. I was close to getting to him this week.
So we got Morikawa, Wise, and Hovland for me versus Neiman, Thigala, and Connors. Could actually be pretty good. We'll go total money 1.
Total money 1? Why not just do strokes where they finish? I feel like that's so much easier.
Just where they finish.
Right, there's like combined strokes, like whoever got the lowest number.
That's fair. That
makes sense.
Yeah, because the money is actually staggered pretty bad, but
yeah.
That'll do it for this week, this season on the point spread. We'll be back in a couple weeks. Thank you all for tuning in throughout the season. We'll be back for more for the 2022-2023 season. Until then, good luck. We'll see you next time.
See you next time.